ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. Y'all better listen up. This sports talking tough. So if you got a cup, go on and raise it up. I'll raise one with you as we talk about the sports. It's raining stats and rumors. Let us give you the report. This is First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back. Special edition here. We got the man Chris Philly from SEC Unfiltered himself. When it comes to baseball right now, this guy is one of the know-it-alls. I say know-it-alls, but then I throw jabs at him whenever I can because he does make mistakes, like we all do.
How dare him be human, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But great to have him on here with us today to talk some regional baseball as we get started. And we'll start off with Cole's Alabama. They're in Southern Miss's region to come in as a 2 seed. Cole, I'll let you kind of go away and see what you got to say.
Yeah, obviously Alabama, fairly good year. Not usually known as a baseball school. The few times this year kind of hinted at, okay, well maybe we could push top 10, maybe we could push top 15. Obviously lost some big ones, in game threes in the series. The one that sticks out to me is the Vanderbilt walk-off, kind of in control the whole game, bottom of the ninth, give up a 3-run bomb to lose it. The LSU series sticks out to me. Game one, you're up 4-0, I think, in the fifth. That's a tough loss there because they ended up coming back and obviously winning that one. And then you did steal the one on Sunday. I think their best moment was the Georgia series. Obviously that Friday game was weird because the weather kind of screwed up everything. You lose like 19-3, and then you come back the next two games and win both of them. Obviously Bama didn't get to host the regional because they just, quite frankly, towards the end of the season didn't play well enough. Against Florida, you had a chance to, if you win that series, you probably host. Unfortunately, they didn't. So I think Bama can win this regional. I don't know a whole heck of a lot about Miami. I know we have beaten Southern Miss. Chris, what do you think Bama looks like going, into this regional?
Yeah, first thing I wanted to say, guys, I appreciate y'all having me, and I really commend y'all both for having me on the show. And I picked neither of your teams to advance the Supers. That really says a lot about your character. So, yeah, man. So with the Bama team, I think really highly of Rob Vaughn. Got to see them in person this year. We went down there for the Mississippi State series. Solomon Hoover, obviously. I think the pitching strategy by them this weekend is going to be really interesting. Do they go Riley Quick in game one? I think it is probably going to be Quick against Miami. From there, is it Tyler Fay or is it Zane Adams? And you feel pretty confident you're going to get Southern Miss. This was one I went back and forth on, honestly. Here's the thing. I went back and forth because that's kind of what Bama was this year. Bama could go 2-2 in this thing. Bama could win the whole thing. It's just they're kind of one of those – they were one of those middle-of-the-pack SEC teams that just any given weekend could beat anybody and could also lose to anybody. It's just the middle of the pack beat up on each other this year in the league. Yeah. I mentioned, too, I saw Bama earlier in the season in Jacksonville when they swept through that weekend and walked off Ohio State in that crazy game on Sunday. But anyways, Hattiesburg regional-wise, they're going to pack out the Pete. It's going to be a very, very highly competitive series. I do think it's either going to be Southern Miss or Alabama that wins it. I went Southern Miss just because I think Southern Miss is going to be able to save J.B. Middleton for the Saturday night game. That's their dude. That's their horse, all-American arm. There's two things that scare me with Bama. It's the inconsistencies of the lineup and then the lack of bullpen depth really concern me, honestly. But again, it wouldn't shock me at all. I think Alabama is more than capable of going on a run. And guys, as we talk about this, I won't, continue to repeat it over and over, but winning those first two games is so pivotal because I think the numbers are like over 75% of the time the team that starts 2-0 is the one that wins the regional. It's just so hard in a regional format to come out of the loser's bracket. So I feel pretty confident with Riley Quick going in game one against Miami, but whoever that game two starter is, I feel like it's a little bit of a mismatch against J.B. Middleton. That being said, dude, listen, Bama, I think, is going to bring a strong crowd, and they're going to have that chip on their shoulder. And I said this about Florida, too. Like, if you're an SEC team going on the road, all due respect to Southern Miss, but you're going to take going on the road to the mid-major versus going to Chapel Hill or Tallahassee or wherever else you could have gone. So, listen, I went Southern Miss in my picks, but I mean, I think Alabama's got a great shot. And obviously, again, man, I want to see every SEC team get the Supers. It's just more
Right.
for us to talk about, more to cover. Our guy Dave Shoemate, actually, who does our lead basketball analyst, does football, does a little bit of baseball here and there, but he'll actually be down there in Hattiesburg. Big Bama guy, he's a Bama alum, so we're pulling for the Crimson Tide. But I kind of, if you notice in my picks, I kind of went away from like the sexy upset picks and tried to think a little bit more outside of the box in some different areas. I know Bama's a really popular pick for this weekend. It's not a bad pick, but I don't know, man. Something tells me Southern Miss. I think they'll be able to outlast Alabama this weekend.
Yeah, and to your point about the pitching strategy, I mean, obviously you watch the SEC tournament, the Tennessee game, you try to throw three midweek guys. I know the SEC tournament's kind of tricky, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I've been a huge baseball fan my whole life, but I am a huge Alabama fan. So obviously, when they're doing better in baseball, it's more fun to watch it. The strategy is going to be interesting because obviously, Quick is the guy. Like I'd say Quick is our dude. Tyler Fay, he pitched a fairly good game against Missouri in Game 1 of the SEC tournament. But then you randomly throw Zane Adams in late in the Tennessee game, and he just looks like absolute dog shit. It was crazy. I mean, so I think from a fan perspective, I'd like to see Quick Game 1 because, like you said, and I agree with you 100%. Winning those first two games is pivotal. You can't go into losers bracket and expect to win. I think if you lose those first two, expectations are kind of more than likely you're expecting to win the regional. But so I am interested as to how they do that as well. I personally, I would rather see Tyler Fay because he's been hotter later in the season.
Yeah.
But again, my big question, batting wise, I think, and look, again, I don't watch a whole lot of baseball. I would love to know the stats for people left on base and where Bama this year ranked in that, because that has been Bama's Achilles heel so many times late in games, leaving players on base. The top of the lineup's strong. There's no doubt about it. But it seems like in those moments when you really need them to step up and really go out there and get somebody on base or get a runner in, they just kind of don't. And a lot of times they go down swinging, but it's like you got to put the bat on the ball eventually, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's not overcomplicate the keys to baseball, right? There's a reason we don't talk about the keys of the weekend every weekend because they're pretty much the same every weekend. Pitch well, play
Right.
great defense, and timely hitting. That's what it comes down to. If you do those three things well, you're probably going to win the baseball game. And it's going to be even more of an emphasis, right? In the postseason, it's just like any other sport, but postseason baseball, there's an emphasis on the fundamentals. Are you able to get the bunt down? Can you play great defense? Can you get the guy in? Can you get the guy over to third with less than 2 outs? Can you get the guy in from third with less than 2 outs or with 2 outs? So all that stuff is even more – there's even greater emphasis on it all. But, yeah, I mean, I would agree with you. Obviously, the timely hitting, but I think you need a guy like Justin LeBron to pop off. I mean, it's just – this is when your stars need to shine brightest. Cade Snell's been their best hitter statistically, but Justin LeBron is their dude. There's other guys, obviously, Brennan Norton – Bonamalo obviously has been good this year, but you need a Justin LeBron, who was red hot to start the year, obviously cooled off a little bit, what have you. They need him to kind of be back on that upswing. And saw some good things, obviously, in Hoover. He's a guy that my good friend Mikey Mata, that played for LSU, says put something in the bucket. Even if you go 0 for 4, you put something in the bucket, whether that's a sack bunt, a sack fly, a walk, whatever it is. Put something in the bucket, even if you don't have a huge day. They need LeBron to continue to put things in the bucket and be productive in his at-bats. I mean, obviously, I think every team in this regional knows how good he is. They're going to try to neutralize him. So other guys in the lineup have to step up. But you need your stars to shine. So, again, I think Bama's in a great position. I just, there are things about their club, the inconsistencies that concern me a little bit. And, guys, that being said, it's hard to go into somebody's house and take a regional from them, especially a Southern Miss program that I think is a really, really good program. But it's going to be a fun, competitive weekend. These two teams don't like each other. Bama beat Southern Miss in the midweek earlier this season. They were great in non-conference play. So, the vibe should be high. Confidence level should be high for Rob Vaughn's club. There's no doubt.
I got you. Pete, you want to hit on Texas a little bit?
Yeah. Before we jump on to Texas, I didn't know you. We purposely stayed away from your segment today because we wanted to come in dark on your picks. Neither one of us knew you didn't pick Texas or Bama to make it to Supers. So when you dropped that on us, I was like, oh, okay. Well,
the Texas one was probably one of the more. And I will tell you this. I know you're going to ask about it. I don't mean to cut you off, but it's It's my least confident. I mean, I think with some of these, man, you really have to try to think outside the box a little bit because there are going to be upsets. I mean, it's just there are. I mean, listen, I joked a few weeks ago with people because I'm in a really interesting place in my career. I've got Aggies that think I'm a Texas homer. I've got Texas fans think I'm an Aggie. I'm a Texas hater. I got people that think I'm trying to jinx Texas to the national championship. So like, kind of just pick your poison. But I told somebody a few weeks ago that yeah, if I got to doubt Texas all the way to Omaha, I'll do it because we'll be out there, and I'd love nothing more than to hang with the Horns. So I mean, whatever, I'll do whatever I got to do. But yeah, I went UTSA. I mean, and it doesn't mean everything that they beat them in the midweek earlier this season. Like, who cares? But it's a really good UTSA club, man. They can swing the hell out of it. And I just, there's just things about Texas still that worry me. Like, I mean, listen, he may have been sandbagging. I don't doubt that he was. But, dude, we talked to Jim Schlossnagle on the field last week, like before one of the games at the SEC tournament. He told us straight up, like, yeah, our lineup we got some holes. We got some holes in our lineup. Like, Texas, the best thing they've done is come through in the clutch and big swings to the bat when they definitely needed them. But, I mean, I think it's a concern for them too. So, it sounds like they're getting healthier. They're going to be as healthy as they've been in quite a while. Max Blue obviously has been back, but another week for him to get back to full strength. I don't know this latest status update, but it sounded like he mentioned to us Jonah Williams might be making a go at it this weekend, which would be a huge boost. The kid's just a freak athlete, and I feel like a spark plug for the lineup. I mean, I don't know what they do on the bump. If there's anybody I trust with it, it's Max Weiner, but I don't – listen, the whole prospects of Texas' season, they got a lot more murky when Jared Spencer went down for me. It just, that anybody – and if anybody lost their ace, it would be – we'd be having a conversation about it. It would probably change your school of thinking about them a little bit. Again, Texas, I'm not going to be surprised in the slightest they win this regional at home in Austin. Dish Falk will be rocking. But, yeah, I mean, listen, I took a little bit of a flyer. I went with the upset. I went UTSA. I think the Roadrunners could go in and do it. And the reaction on social media has been about what you would expect. So, no, it's listen, like I said, if I got to doubt the Horns all the way to Omaha, I'll do it. And I'll be that guy that falls on the sword to get Texas to the promised land. So, but, yeah, I mean, listen, there's going to be upsets, man. There's going to be some 4 seeds that beat ones. There's going to be some ones that lose their own regionals. And for some reason, my gut told me Texas was
Texas is the one.
Like I said, we'll see. I just big weekend for the lineup. They need to swing it well, help out the pitching. The pitching's been so good, but at some point, right, you gotta be able to bang it around a little bit. Hopefully, the fence falling down in center field was a good omen somehow, not a bad omen. I don't know. Shout out to Del Conte for getting that fixed in a timely manner to get the regional in.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Our good buddy Mike Hart was out there, and he texted me. He's like, "They've been working nonstop. They're going to get this thing back up and running here shortly." I was like, "Man, that's amazing." But I mean, you can't really count out CDC. He kind of handles pretty much everything right on and hits it right away. Yeah, that's a bold pick. Hey, Cole is along with you on that pick. Cole's also thinking UTSA is going to pull that one off, and our buddy Buddha, who could be with us right now, he also has Texas losing their region. I don't know if it was them.
Texas haters. Everybody's a Texas hater. Nobody wants
Well,
to
see,
It's easy to hate Texas. It is easy to hate Texas. Let's be honest.
Absolutely. And I was going to say that too. Anytime when it comes to Texas and Texas A&M, and you pick one or the other, you're going to have both sides chirping at you from here on out. But yeah, I have Texas, winning it out yet again. But it's going to be a little bit more difficult. UTSA does kind of worry me a little bit as well, and just who's on the bump is it's a big issue too. There are holes in this lineup that we got to kind of figure out. I love that Jonah might be getting a call. I did see that as well. Like you said, the dude is a stud athlete and any and everything he does. But we'll see how it plays out. I might be there tomorrow trying to decide on it or not. I'm going to have my 3 boys with me, so it depends on if they're going to be able to handle the 1 o'clock heat of the day for that game. But we'll see.
One we didn't mention too, man, the 3 seed, Kansas State, scrappy. That's a scrappy team. So, does Texas even see them? I don't know, but Kansas State's a scrappy club, man. I mean,
yeah.
I think Texas, they didn't get the toughest draw, but it's a solid draw for them. for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you the team that I was worried about coming to the Texas region and who I pick up as my my upset team to win that region, and that's Dallas Baptist going to Baton Rouge. That's the one
Right,
that I went on.
Dallas Baptist. Oh, that's right, you do, because I remember that now. Yeah,
I I went out on a flyer, and I went out early. As soon as I saw that they weren't in our region and they
yeah,
were in Baton Rouge, I was like, you
I
know
do
what?
remember that. Yeah, because I saw my LSU buddies quoting it and like bookmarking it and all that.
Oh
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
hey, and I told them, hey,
If
bookmark.
LSU beats Dallas Baptist, Pete's gonna have some people knocking at his door. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But it's one of those bold picks that, like you said earlier, you know, like, hey, they're out there, they're gonna happen, and that's the one that I think they have a chance. They have an opportunity to shock some people. It's gonna be a lot harder at the box, you know. But we'll see how it plays out. That was my pick as far as
yeah. I mean,
uh,
listen. Here's the thing. I don't like it's the college baseball postseason. Anything can happen. Funny enough, though, that is my pick. I'm most confident in is LSU winning that regional. I'd be stunned. I will be stunned if LSU, because the draw is I mean, listen, I said their regional was a joke on Monday. I'm gonna stand by it. It's all due respect to those teams. They got the most favorable draw, and I don't think it's even close. I mean, Rhode Island, Arkansas, Little Rock, who is literally, I think, the worst team in the tournament. And I mean, a Dallas Baptist team that's good. Do not get me wrong. They faced off earlier this season. LSU won. Granted, it was in February, so who cares? But Dallas Baptist is a really good mid-major. But comparatively to who LSU could have gotten, that field was hand selected by Jay Johnson. And if it wasn't hand selected, guys, the committee was probably like shelling crawfish and drinking bourbon and jambalaya while they put that field together. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, I mean, it's as favorable as I think it get. Like, and I'll tell you, I mean, listen, crazier things have happened. Dallas Baptist walks in there and beats LSU and Alex Box. Man, LSU fans are going to be unhinged.
Yeah, that'd be
For Jay
crushed.
Johnson's job, high key, they will do it. They will absolutely do it. So, dude, I got the Tigers. I went to Alex Box earlier this season when they played Tennessee. That place is just different, man. It's so. I mean, I would have felt good about LSU if they had a tough draw, and they don't. So, but listen, I respect any person that's willing to go on record and pick an upset like that. So good on you, and we'll see. That would be the shock of the weekend for me for sure.
yeah, it's the one that I went out there. Like I said, it's like, you know what, I'm gonna say it. I've been holding it in. Let me go ahead and
I
put it
like
out
it.
there.
I like it. I like it. I feel like that's one that nobody's going with. So I like that.
Yeah. Who is your dark horse in all the regions that you think is going to make a run, not only in the regionals but possibly jump into the supers?
Ooh. I mean, I've got a few 2 and 3 seeds winning regionals. I mean, if you want to call Florida a dark horse, I mean, the Gators are obviously the 2 seed. I love their draw. It's kind of similar to Bama. Going to a Sun Belt team. And again, this is all we've made the rounds, by the way, on Coastal Carolina Twitter, because I posted the clip earlier in the week that how excited I was about Florida's draw, and sure enough, this is what they think of us. This is the disrespect. But like, dude, Florida is one of the hottest teams in the country. Really, truly. Love the Gators there. I picked them to win that one. I took Wake Forest in the Knoxville Regional. I mean, I don't know why we're not talking about that one more, right? Because Tennessee, losers of 6 of the last 7 series. They've done all the fundamental things and the little things wrong throughout the season. Granted, they won 40 games. They won 16 conference games. I get it. They went to Hoover, played good baseball. They beat Texas. I get it. Whatever. They also got mollywopped by Vandy 10-0 and showed more of the same in regards to things that they had not done well throughout the season. Guys, they haven't won a home series in Knoxville since March 14th through 16th, the opening weekend of SEC play. So it's not even like being at home has been that
right.
big.
It's not even an edge. Yeah.
Whether it's Wake, whether it's Cincinnati, who's the 3 in their region, I'm not saying Tennessee can't go on a run. Tennessee's another fan base. They think I hate their guts for whatever reason. I'm like, I'd love to see Arkansas, Tennessee in the Super, but you just got to prove it to me. Like, everybody's like, they're going to cut a switch on. They're going to cut a switch on. Did that switch not exist the last month and a half of the season? I mean, and then all of a sudden they're just going to become something they haven't been. Christian Moore's not walking through that door. Blake Burke's not walking through that door. Kavaris Tears, Dylan Dreiling, just Drew Beam, keep going down the list. So that's a regional I'm shocked we're not talking more about. And again, I went Wake Forest. I think pop-ups are going to turn into home runs at that ballpark, and Wake Forest hits a ton of them. And if it's Cincinnati, guys, what does Cincinnati do? They get on base at a high rate, and they steal a lot of bases. And those are two things that's one thing, especially defensively, but holding runners on, Tennessee doesn't do well. So
Yep.
I got Wake Forest, one of the Knoxville regional. Georgia Tech's the big sexy pick for everybody. I actually went Ole Miss and Oxford. If you took Tech, I don't think you're crazy, and I don't hate it, but I do think Ole Miss at home behind the Swayze crazies. I think they're going to find a way to get the job done. And I mean, I guess the other big one. I mean, I did take Arizona and Eugene to upset Oregon to make the Supers, and I mean, guys, I would say we already talked about it, but I think the UTSA pick is by far my most bold, outrageous. Listen, it'd be a huge story if 2-seed Texas got knocked out in the regional round, but. Listen, it's not a matter. That's why I think it's so funny. Like fan bases get so upset, guys. It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of who.
Yeah.
Who's playing God? It ain't you, because we're not getting straight ones across the board going to the Super. It's just, and I tried to also keep in mind, guys, like not every SEC team's going to advance. I didn't even mention two of them that you could call dark horses. I don't have them winning, but Kentucky and Clemson, and Oklahoma and Chapel Hill. I think Kentucky's more of the long shot. I think if a team wins that regional that's not Clemson, it'll be West Virginia. West Virginia is a really, really good club. And, I mean, Kentucky's been stingy. I mean, they got two guys, and Nick McKay and Ben Cleaver, that have been fantastic in their 1-2. That who knows? I mean, and nobody likes playing Kentucky. They play that small ball, stealing bases, hit and run. It's just that annoying, and they do it at a high level. Everybody that plays them says the same thing. Like, it's not a fun series. It's not enjoyable. So who knows? But Oklahoma's fascinating to me, guys. I think it'd be a bigger upset than if UTSA took the Austin Regional, because a lot of people have UNC winning the national championship. And, dude, they're throwing Malachi Witherspoon on Friday. Mm-hmm. They're pitching off to try to beat Nebraska with him, which I think they can do. And if they can, guys, Jake Knapp against Kyson Witherspoon on Saturday night will feed families. I mean, it is like the premier pitching matchup of the night. Jake Knapp, a Golden Spike semifinalist. Kyson Witherspoon, you could argue. I mean, he's one of the best aces, if not the best in the entire SEC. The dude was electric.
He could throw it. Yeah.
He was electric all season. So, and Kyson Witherspoon can outduel anybody. So if he can do that and they go up 2-0, all of a sudden, pure chaos. So there's a lot of potential, guys, for sleepers. And heck, I mean, it seems like every year we see a 4-seed win a regional. I mean, is that going to happen this year? Heck, I don't know. I mean, it feels, every time we go into it, it feels inconceivable, but it tends to happen. So expect the unexpected. That's the beauty of it. And again, you just keep your fingers crossed that it doesn't happen to your favorite team, but the upsets are incoming, man. It's a weird game. So I'm excited to watch it all. It's going to be a blast.
And to your point about, not to interrupt you, people, to your point about Tennessee, I agree with them kind of struggling a little bit, because, you look against Bama, then they got like 22 hits. In their next two games, I don't think they had more than 5. I think they had 5 hits against Vandy and maybe 6 hits one other game. But, you talk about the inconsistency, like that can kill you in these regionals pretty quick.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's postseason baseball will show you who you are really quick, no doubt.
Yeah,
absolutely. Really fast. I mean, listen, anything can happen in the postseason. It can. Like, look at Florida last year. They won 28 regular season games, made it to Omaha. Ole Miss a few years ago, they're the last team in. They go all the way, and they win the national championship. I think most of the time, though, again, who you are is going to come out. Like, it's you're not all of a sudden just going to be something you haven't all season long. Like, oh, now it's time we play our best baseball. So maybe it will happen, but maybe it won't. Just excited to see it play out, guys. I mean, again, there's going to be upsets all over the country. We're going to be covering it all. Obviously, it's just going to be so much. I mean, this is the best time of year. I told my guy Harrison Fant, who's my co-host on the Wind Up, which is the bi-weekly show we do, talking ball and everything, that the fun part about it, same way with you guys, as we go throughout this thing, the conversations only get more fun, and the shows get bigger, and the games get bigger, and it'll take us all the way to Omaha. So yeah, really exciting times.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we let you go and we get out of here, thoughts on what's going on in College Station. You got first time in history you had something like this happen. Preseason number one, just nowhere to be found in postseason ball. What goes on there? Does Early get another shot, or is it time to start looking elsewhere?
Yes, I mean I've got a pretty tight relationship with a few of those guys down there that cover the Aggies and are really plugged into it. I think he's gone. I think Mike Early's gone. I don't think he's coming back based off of, and things can change, obviously. I guess conversations can change, but based off the convos I've had with them, it sounds like all the conversations are sort of pointing to, and the momentum is taking them towards like they're going to move on from him and get a new head coach. And I was also even told if A&M lands who they are targeting, then why they're moving away from him is going to make a lot of sense. So apparently maybe there's a big fish down the line, if you will, that I mean, we know one thing A&M ain't scared to do is spend money. They somehow still have plenty of it. I don't know where it's coming from, but they got plenty of it. They'll go out there and spend money with the best of them. So, yeah, I just listen, guys, and I would say this. Was it all Michael Early's fault this year? No. I mean, players got to go out and play. Players didn't go out and play, bottom line. But somebody has to be held accountable, and missing the postseason. I know there were injuries. I get it. But missing the postseason with that group feels like an unforgivable sin. You know, I know the players love him. I get it. But let this be a lesson to all those who allow player relationships and players being buddy-buddy with the coach. Let it be a lesson of why you shouldn't just let the kids make the decisions instead of the adults in the room making the decision. Again, I think Michael Early knows baseball. I think he's a hell of a baseball coach. He obviously was a hell of a hitting coach for Texas A&M, but you know, it's one thing to be the hitting coach, it's another thing to be the man in charge. And there was obviously something that just did not click. And it'd have been one thing if they had a lackluster season, right? If they were a 2 or 3 seed and you know, just fell short of expectations, just to completely miss the postseason and to get swept by Mizzou when your entire season's on. And even, guys, if they lose game 1 at Mizzou but win the next 2, they probably get in. Like, let's call it for what it is.
Yeah.
With the run at Hoover. That team just quit. And it's like, I would say the message to the players, hey, you love Michael Early. Sure. You didn't love him enough to show up and bust your ass in games 2 and 3 against Mizzou. I mean, let's just call it for what it is. Like, you did. Y'all quit on that man. Y'all quit on Michael Early. Y'all cost him his job. Like, if we're going to be totally honest. But there was something there that did not click, whether it was Michael Early was too much of their friend. I think that could play a role because, listen, I'll be honest. I was critical of Schloss when he left Texas A&M, the way it went down, the timing, the whole Richard Zane press conference thing. I think a lot of people were like, I was. But there's one thing I'll say. He wins. He wins, and one of the reasons he wins, he's not your friend. Like, you can say whatever you want about Schloss, about whatever. You can come at him either way. But, like, the man's a winner, and he's somebody that I think players – and there's even former players talking shit. But, you know, they respect him. And there's a little bit of fear, too. Like, they fear him, but they respect him. It just kind of feels like some of that was lost, man. Like, that's why you can't be buddy-buddy with your players. And maybe guys got a little comfortable, got away with some – I don't know. I wasn't in the building. But, again, something obviously just did not click. And I think I said it during the season. I thought it was the right move to move off. I know it's 1 year, but with the expectations, with the money invested, you got to move on. And I think that's what they will do talking to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I'm hearing rumbles that Texas might have to actually go after her Early as a hitting coach once again. Which
he's already got a roster picture. I mean, and got to take a new photo. You know,
exactly,
so,
exactly.
Just show up, get in there.
That would be the wildest turn of events if he ended up at Texas after all. That would, again, you know. I know there's no tears shed on this show, obviously, but I don't know what A&M did to have some of the shit that happens to their athletics program happen, but it is crazy. I mean, from the yearly disappointments in football, Texas 8-4, to the softball thing coming up, them losing as the number 1 overall to preseason number 1 best team in the country, consensus national title favorite, to completely missing the postseason and firing their coach, and then potentially their coach after their head coach already went to Texas. Now potentially the coach they're going to fire is going to you can't
They're
script it.
they're cursed, man.
The most sinister, evil Texas fan couldn't script this shit. It's crazy.
They're cursed. They're
I
cursed.
feel for them. I actually that was the thing. Like when the Schloss thing happened, I actually kind of felt bad. I was like, damn, this sucks. I feel bad for him. Like, man, it's kind of like your girl, in the dark of night, just cheated on you and did you dirty, stabbed you in the back. And then now she upgraded. That's what happened. It's crazy.
Little brother syndrome is running wild.
Oh yeah, low bro's not doing okay. That's for sure.
Absolutely. All right, man. Before we get you out of here, I know we did talk about it a little bit. What's your outlook on college football wise? Who are you thinking? I mean, I know we're way ahead of everything, but that's predominantly what we cover. Just want to kind of tip our cap.
One of the reasons I love college baseball season is I don't have to talk about all the dumbass shit going on in the college football offseason. Now, I love talking ball, but the off season's just become deplorable, bro. I mean, maybe that sounds bad for me to say as somebody that covers it and our business revolves around football, but my God, I love talking ball. All the other stuff, dude, just figure it out. Anyways, as far as ball goes, though, it's going to be a really interesting year. I just think from the standpoint of, I think the biggest storyline for me, so many of the top contenders with new quarterbacks. That's what it comes down to. I mean, Arch Manning at Texas, Gunnar Stockton at Georgia, Ty Simpson at Alabama, Austin Simmons at Ole Miss. There's so many new faces that are under center. Then you got the Garrett Nussmeyers of the world coming back for LSU. I feel like John Mateers at Oklahoma. That's a brand new one. Lenore Sellers back at South Carolina. DJ Lagway, first 4 year starting. So the league feels pretty wide open. I mean, listen, going into the season, I'm probably going to anoint Texas the favorite. I mean, I think that's because they're in it. Arch is a new signal caller, and I'm not going to be one of those ones that ranks him number 1 preseason because I still think we need to see it a little bit. Like we know he's got the Manning last name and the big arm and he can run and kid's got all the tools, but I want to see him in a big time SEC environment, be the QB1 and go win the game and go 24 for 34 for 3 bills and 3 touchdowns and no pick. I want to see him do it.
Sure.
But I mean, the way Sark has stacked the roster, I mean, they're going to be built yet again, I think, to get right back to the SEC championship game, potentially win the SEC. They've got less questions than some others. Everybody's going to. That's the thing. Everybody has questions. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I would probably say Texas is the favorite. We'll break it down a lot more, obviously, as we get into next month and media days around the corner. But I'd say Texas the favorite. I mean, the one thing I ain't going to do, boys, I ain't sleeping on Georgia. Hell no, I ain't sleeping on Georgia. I mean, if there's one thing I will not do, I'm not selling a bunch of stock in Kirby Smart. The dogs are going to be right there. LSU's kind of the wild card. I think LSU could win the SEC. But what version of Garrett Nussmeier are they getting on a week-in, week-out basis? Garrett Nussmeier is like the pitcher that throws 100 miles an hour, but he has no clue where it's going. Sometimes he's great. Sometimes just hold on for dear life, right? If they can get a more consistent product out of him and he cuts down on the turnovers, LSU is absolutely a college ball playoff contender, maybe an SEC title contender. But I guess it's funny. I was talking in reference to who's going to win the SEC. I guess that's not as important a question anymore as who's going to the playoff.
Right.
I think Texas is firmly a playoff team, right? I mean, I just they got a lot to replace now. Don't get me. They got a lot to replace. I don't know if people even realize how much they have to replace, but it feels like they're more reloading at a lot of spots than they are rebuilding. And again, Sark showed last year he'd spent the last few years building it from the inside out, building it with trench warfare. I think they get it. You win this league. You win in this league in the trenches. Texas should be well equipped to do that again. But dude, college football as a whole is just wide open. With the portal and NIL, so many guys going different places and pieces moving around. It's anybody's game. So I think it'll be the usual suspects, Texas, Georgia up there at the top, LSU fighting with them. I think Bama, guys, nobody's really talking. I think Bama's, if quarterback clicks for them, that is a roster that absolutely should get to the college football playoff. And who will be the dark horse this year, guys? Is it going to be Florida? Could it be Auburn? Could it be Oklahoma? God forbid. Not Boomer Sooner, right? Could it be Oklahoma, though? Could it be South Carolina doing what they did from last year, carrying it over? There's going to be somebody. Could it be Ole Miss?
No.
So, it's last year was probably one of the wildest seasons I recall. I think this year is going to be just as crazy, if not even top it, if that's possible. So it's but again, I think Texas and Alabama, I think sit really well going in the season. I think for me, as of today, it can change. But I think right now, today, those will probably be two I have penciled in to make the playoff.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with most of what you said. I will say this: dark horse cannot be Auburn. We will not allow that. That's just never going to happen.
Listen, they're a proposed dark horse. Listen, I'm with you. I don't trust Hugh Freeze as far as you can throw it.
Man, listen, absolutely not.
They better worry about beating Baylor week one. Well, I got to say.
You're right.
Hey,
no,
you're
100% right.
Listen, here's the thing. That's another big storyline going into the season. Nobody got fired after last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a bloodbath by season's end this year. Because
you got all every coach returning.
Yeah, everyone. So, dude, Venables could be gone. Hugh Freeze could be gone. Sam Pittman could be gone. Hell, Billy Napier could still lose his job if they missed a bowl game or something. God forbid. It's going to be a bloodbath. There's going to be people all over the SEC, I think, losing their jobs. I think the over/under I'd probably set like 2.5 because Mark Stoops.
I think it's a fair line.
Yeah.
I think the obvious ones are pretty much locked in, but I think there's several out there that are the seat's pretty hot. The seat's pretty hot. I agree with you.
I mean, I think Oklahoma is probably looking for a new head coach after the season.
I think so too. And unless something crazy happens,
all I know is this, which we haven't announced this yet, but I'll just say, all I know is this: I'm more than likely, like over 90%, going to Red River Shootout this year. I know Pete will disagree, but I'd love to see a decent game. If I go, I swear to God, if I go and it's 34-0, please let John Mateer go on.
At halftime?
All I want. I don't care who wins, but Jesus, I just, last year I was like, thank God I didn't go to that game. That was terrible.
Have you ever been to Red River?
Never been. That's what I'm saying. So
Red River is an experience like no other. It's absolutely a blast. I'll probably be out there this year, so we'll definitely have to link up for it. I wouldn't mind a close game. They haven't been close the past 2 years, so I wouldn't mind a close one.
It ain't even got to be like a last-second field goal, just not 34-0.
Yeah, I
mean,
Pete's a lot nicer than me. We're going to Jordan O'Hare Stadium, and I do not want it to be close. I want to beat them by 50. I want them all to leave at halftime. I don't care.
I would expect no other response, my friend. No other.
No, I hear you. We're gonna let you get out of here, Chris. Before we let you go ahead and let them know where they can catch you at.
Yeah, Pete Cole, pleasure, man. I appreciate it. Let's definitely do it again soon. We're at SEC Unfiltered, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, where we get your content, YouTube, podcasts, and of course our website, secunfiltered.com. And definitely stay tuned throughout the weekend. We got a ton of stuff going on for the regional weekend, college baseball-wise, Supers, Omaha. We'll be out in Omaha for 2 weeks. We got some big announcements coming up for stuff we'll be doing out there. So, yeah, really appreciate it, guys. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Cole, you got anything else for
Appreciate it, man. Nah, man, appreciate you coming on. Incredible baseball knowledge, incredible insight. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, hey, best of luck to the Tide and the Horns. Hopefully I'm wrong on both.
All right, man. We appreciate y'all. Hey, guys, this will be posted up pretty soon, and y'all have a good one and enjoy regionals. Cole, you got anything else for them before we jump off?
No, roll Tide.
All right, that's it, guys. Y'all have a good one. Hook 'em.
First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. Y'all better listen up. This sports talking tough. So if you got a cup, go on and raise it up. I'll raise one with you as we talk about the sports. It's raining stats and rumors. Let us give you the report. This is First 12 ounces. First 12 ounces, yeah. First 12 ounces.